Alright, let's discuss strategy, how to free Stellar Blade. At the time of this upload, it's just at least one more day before May 1st, and it's gonna be a banger. And not only that, Stellar Blade has been out for nearly, well, let's just say it's been 4 days since Stellar Blade released. And yes, the drama of it is continuing, which I had to assume at the time of this upload, it is still trending, and I don't think it's gonna stop. Many video game journalists thought they can have their W, which, oh no, we're not done yet. And I would say, this is the last hope for video games. I mean, there are some, but Stellar Blade will be the last hope we have for games to be great again. Yes, for games to be great again. Now let's check out an article from Fandom Pulse. This is from Fandom Pulse, 4 days ago. It says, Grum's shared strategy to combat Sony's censorship in Stellar Blade. Free Stellar Blade. Before I get to any further, first of all, gamers are now rising up. See, the problem is that I think it's because of the video game journalists, okay? I understand they have to rate, but the problem is that you had to find someone who is not biased like this. How come they rate Marvel Spider-Man 2 a 90 or 92, while Stellar Blade gets what, 82? Yet Marvel Spider-Man 2, the ending's something people don't like. And yet it got 92 or 95, I think it was it? I don't know. Even though it sells well, which I'm not gonna blame it, but off topic, I think the best bet is that Stellar Blade should let YouTubers review it, or perhaps find a YouTuber that they know is not biased, is willing to give their audience something to be anxious with, or perhaps to promote it, and who knows, maybe they'll be anxious for it. I think this is the way, because you give someone, or perhaps a trusted YouTuber or content creator, the review codes first, and then the journalists. I think that's a key to success. That's a first formula to succeed. Yes, it may not be working because you need to rate it, but overall, I think that's a good way. Let's continue forward with the strategy. As we all know that, a little bit FYI, Grumps has been search banned, if what I've heard, on Twitter. I mean, you just have to search for his tag. Even if you search Grumps, you only got the results is many people who hate Grumps or anti-Grumps for some reason. Right here, PlayStation Stellar Blade, body shaming backlash facing Sony and manufacturer racism for DEI provocatory has come to fever point. Now it appears that Mark Kerns, which aka Grumps, has released play-by-play thread on how the fans and real gamers can get Sony back on track and supporting players. Now there's a few first steps. Mark Kerns remarks, well, he suggests to reach out to the creators of Stellar Blade and developers Shift Up and the studio Eve Studio to remind them that your work is appreciated and the stance that they are taking on anti-censorship. Okay, here's the step 2. You guys can read this, you somehow know. Kern emphasized the importance of being well-mannered, respectful, even when addressing issues, his apparent shadow banning on X and other social media platforms. The staff on Stellar Blade don't need angry babies shouting on social media types. A cool head, disappointment in action of X Twitter is all that's needed. Okay, that's good. Kerns also reminded people that Asian culture is slightly different than our Seoul emails, though needed. Though needed may not be most preferable. In addition to emails, he suggests writing handwritten notes to the creators, tell them they support their AAA games. They will give the makers of Stellar Blade even more encouragement and appreciate our cause in the most direct way. Okay, before we continue this other step, now that is a good true. Our cultures in the West and the Asian are totally different across the board. Yes, some use email, but some people, they use either fax or handwritten message. It's not exactly modern yet, but still getting there. Okay, let's continue. Now the next step, to go directly to Sony and the PlayStation. Kern recommend when you go after Sony, you go after them via social media, their most prominent soapbox, start the hashtag Free Stellar Blade, and targeting Sony directly with other mature games which released Uncensored, such as Baldur's Gate 3, and Cyberpunk 2077, which allowed body modification to an extreme. He provides telephone numbers for PlayStation and Sony so that you can give them a piece of their mind. As always, Kerns would like gamers to be polite but firm group when dealing with Sony's social media. Additionally, Kerns advised canceling PlayStation Plus subscription to send a strong message to Sony even if it occurs digitally after day one. He suggests purchasing physical copies of Stellar Blade instead of the digital copy, can't even say it, reminding Sony that Free Stellar Blade hashtag is the reason behind these actions and urging ShiftUp to revert Stellar Blade to its original state. This will send a clear message to Sony that this kind of censorship, even digitally after day one, will not be tolerated, which is true. I 100% agree. Here, you guys can pause if you want to read it. Lastly but not least, Kerns supports spreading the word across the internet to every gaming content creator you know. Follow about the stand-ups of censorship, sign the petition. I think I have the petition, I will have a link in the description. And tell Sony that great games as Stellar Blade shouldn't be attacked or censored for appeasement for these woke or DEI dunderheads and their knuckles, I can't even say it, manufacture outrage. Kerns stated that when online petition don't care much of weight in Asian market, the plan of printing out signatures, sending them directly to Sony and ShiftUp will send a clear message of support of Stellar Blade. That is a good way to do it. I'm gonna be sporting it. Before we get ahead of ourselves, this is a legacy server among World of Warcraft, WoW community, as we all know. Mark Kerns reminds everyone that this worked with World of Warcraft when over 200k signature, the petition to revive Nostrala's private server after a Blizzard cease and desist gained traction and saved the server. And it worked. Now it says here, the plan won't work, we should just cancel and go home. Sorry, you are wrong. I used it before, I've won. I lead the change to bring the WoW Classic back. I brought the Nostalarius petition to Blizzard and we got it back. We changed it here too. ShiftUp will love to have the ammo to bring to Sony. We're going to give it to them. Keep your copies of Stellar Blade, buy it physical so you have the original outfits. We're going to change it back. Movie fans and gamers have also used their fan revolts to change things in different media. One of the more famous fan revolts when the initial Sonic the Hedgehog movie was going to be released with an awful design, and the fans rallied on social media to force Sega and Paramount to change the design. What was the better? The chances of gamers and players alike to make a positive impact on the landscape of gaming. While it's easy to dismiss Stellar Blade and its controversy because it's just boobs, the real course of action is standing against boardroom DEI bureaucracy in gaming companies for editing our entertainment and hobby into faux pure technical chain hooks of former gaming glory, smoother in day one censorship patches, manufacture racism. Okay? It says right here, in just an hour, they're up to 1,300 plus signature. We need 100k to make a difference as we have these printed, shipped to Sony and shipped up. Look, gamers want good games, and if gamers says what they want works, you just have to give them. When you alienated your fans, okay, I'm not blaming ShiftUp, okay, I'm blaming Sony. I'm blaming the publisher. Why don't you listen to what the people want? What gamers want? If you listen, if you let the developers use their creative vision, then guess what? Your investment will double. Yes, it may not appease anybody on Twitter or any woke journalists, but it is better than nothing, which is why I'm going to be supporting it. Although I won't be putting gameplay footage yet because I need to set up the PS5 first. So it's going to take a while. Probably by a month to Stellar Blade release, I might as well start playing it. Who knows? Leave a like and subscribe. And what do you guys think? Also, if you have any other anti-woke video games or any games that are not touched by Sweet Baby Inc., list it out in the comments.